Tom wrote a book, and he wants you all to buy it. The name of the book is The Djinn Chronicles Volume 1 Growth. It's part 1 of a trilogy. It's available on Amazon. Go read it.
Don't forget to subscribe for more reviews. Please also like. Thank you.
Hello there everyone, Tom here again, and today we have the privilege of taking a look at the, who is this, TFC Toys S03 Leviathan. This is the third component of their Satan Combiner. So, yeah, front of the box, back of the box. Alright, let's open this bad boy up here and see what we get in the packaging. There's no tape to cut or anything on this one. Ooh, foam. I like foam. You all know how I feel about packaging. I know not everybody feels the same, but that's okay. Alright, and we got an empty box. Okie dokie. So we get this packet here that has instructions and the card. We'll look at that here in a minute. Piece of foam comes off, and this is what we get in the packaging. So right off the bat, we get two hands here, looks like. Alright, we'll look at these here in a minute. We get a gun. Again, we'll look at that in a minute. And we get figure himself here. Come on now. Alright, and that represents all that's in the foam. So, let's take us a quick little look here at this hand. And it's a nice little hand. It's got a hinge here, so you can do like that. Spread out the fingers. So yeah. Nice little hand. I like the silver shiny paint that they've got here. He has a joint there, joint here. Looks like he's got a joint here as well. He does. So he can go all the way in like that on all of these fingers. The thumb here is on a ball joint, and these are apparently pinned. You can see the pin right there. Thumb is on a ball joint. We get a joint right here and a joint right here. Nice stiff joints. Okay, and we seem to get that. Yeah, they're mirrored, so we don't have any concern here. Left and right hand. Alright, the gun that we were going to talk about. Interesting. Does not apparently have a handle. I wonder if mine's supposed to. Oh wait. Gee, Tom, you're doing so well today. Yeah, Tom. Shut up, Nemesis. All right. So here's the handle. Nice looking little gun. Molded detail. Silver paint. Some blue paint on there. Yeah, that looks really nice. All right. And it's approximately just a tinch shy of 4 inches. Incidentally, for those of you curious, the hands here are coming in at just about 3 inches. And since I got out the ruler here, let's see here. Out of the box, this guy is coming in at approximately 8 inches to the top of this. To the top of his head would be about 6.5. Shoulder to shoulder. So I'm going to count this in as part of the shoulder. It's about 4 1/4 approximately. Depth wise, we're looking at about 3.5 from the toe to this piece. Alright, let's move our camera down here a little bit where we can get a better view of our figure. Okay, so bringing him in, you can see we've got some really nice, pretty shiny gold here, silver here. There's red paint, silver, translucent. The teeth are painted in red. That's really nice. And he has light piping. Let's see if we can get that to glow. Yeah, we can get it to glow. Unfortunately, his eyes are kind of dead without it. I mean, you can see the red, but it's not really prominent. The head is on a ball joint like the rest of this line, all the way around. You can look up to there. Can't really look down much at all. He just kind of, his chin hits his piece here. Coming on down, we've got pretty little color right there. I don't even know what to call that color. It's not blue. It is paint. I don't know what to call it. We got some translucence here, some red paint here and here. We have some pretty silver right through here. Yeah. Okay. So the arms are on a soft ratchet, and they can go all the way around. They can go out that far, so he can't quite do the YMCA thing. Swivel just under the joint here. Let's see what kind of elbow bend he has. Pretty good range. Of course, there's nothing there, as you can see. It's ugly from this side, but that's okay, because I don't plan to display him like that anyway. The hand has a pin, so yes, it does open. And the way that the hand is molded is kind of odd in my view, but that's okay. It's meant for a trigger finger. The thumb is stationary. Surely it rotates. Yep, rotates all the way around. Alright. It would be disturbing if it did not do the exact same thing on this side. So let's just rotate that around so his hands make anatomical sense. No waist swivel, waist articulation. He does have hip flaps that will get out of the way to allow you to fake it the way we used to have to, by just bending the hips like that. So that's how far down he can bend with these hips, which means he should be able to do full American splits. Oh man, it is, I take that back. He does have an ab crunch. My apologies. It just wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So there's his ab crunch. I do apologize about that. Out to the sides, universal joints, so you can do the full Chinese splits. Thigh swivel is built around what is undoubtedly a mushroom peg in here. Knee joint, single hinge, gets you out to there, so that's 90 degrees. And you can see, you can actually see the I don't know if you all can, you can actually see the joints, how they work in there. The feet, let's see, toes, well, I'd say that's pretty impressive. Full rocker, so that's not a problem. In fact, there he is flat-footed. That's as far as you can go flat-footed. Okay. He has a bend down and a bend up a little bit. That's in addition to these toes. Alright. So, that is pretty much this guy here. What was his name again? I can't remember. Leviathan. That's pretty much Leviathan here. We get some red paint. This is plastic. Pretty silver, translucent. Here he is from the back, and I think, I mean, you all saw me pull it right out of the box. I think this is how it goes with the hands behind like that. Could be wrong. I don't know. I'll check with the directions just to make sure. So why don't we do some scale comparisons, and then we'll transform this guy. We'll put him into beast mode, and then I think we'll go into arm mode. Alright, so to transform old Ripper Snapper here, it can be slightly challenging and it can be frustrating at times. I do have to point out something though. I have this little piece right here that has fallen off, and for the life of me I have not been able to figure out where this thing goes. It fell off while I was doing the legs. I can't seem to find the piece that it's missing to. I don't know. There's a problem, I think, and that's probably a discussion for another day, but there's a problem when a part falls off and you can't tell where it fell off at because you can't see what it's missing. Regardless, we're going to set that aside and we're going to transform old Ripper Snapper here. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on the arms. And let's see, how do we have to open up one of these panels here to get the arm out. No, this is not starting off well. Look, quit it. There we go. Pewee. Alright, so what we have to do here is turn this around like this, pull this up, and there is a hole right here that you can see. It's going to plug onto this little silver bit right here. So you have to line it up right, get it into place, and then hopefully you can see it. Just carefully maneuvering this to not scar the paint, and it will just mesh like that. Take your hand, and it's got a nice little flat section here. Just pull that up like that, and that represents the left arm done. We're going to do the same thing over here. Hopefully pop that open, rotate this around, push this into place here as soon as we line it up properly, rotate the hand and push it forward so that it looks like this. We're going to kind of get these out of the way. Now we're going to unpeg. Oh, and these fold up behind it. I had them just laying down because that's how they came out of the box. But we're going to unpeg these, and this peg right here plugs into that port on both sides. Go ahead and open these up just to get them out of the way a little bit. Pull this back like this. Now we have to open. We don't have to open this. I like doing it. It makes it a little bit easier. The head is kind of locked into place underneath this joint right here, so it takes a little bit of effort to get it to unlock. What I have discovered is using a tool, you can arrest that connection there. You can, I don't know if you can see, hang on. Can you see the groove right here? This slips underneath this panel on both sides, and that's why you have to work to try and get it loose. So the head comes up and in, and it'll tuck away just like that. Now, backing out a tinch, we're going to rotate these. We can push that back up. The arms here have to come up and in some way or another, like this. This section right here is going to sit in this notch here, just like this. Now when we go to connect the head here, there's little grooves right here that you can see. This bit is one of the most challenging pieces of the whole thing, because it comes in and you have to maneuver and adjust, and it is a pain in the patootie. That's the way I shall describe that. These come in, come down, come in, and as you can see, there's a port right here and a pin right here. You know you got it right when it lines up and goes home where it's supposed to. Now, these kindly out of the way, because this is going to be fun. The problem isn't getting it into the position, the problem is getting it to line up right. And the camera's on and it just made me a liar. The next time I do this, it won't do it that way, I promise. Alright, let's get these out of the way. This part is on a double hinge. It's just going to come up and sit right there. Just like that. Simple enough, right? The legs. There's a lot of stuff going on in these legs. First thing we do is we unhook this, and when you're going back to robot mode, you can hopefully see these little grooves right here. They plug onto these little pegs. Be mindful because it'll mess with you. This right here is supposed to come undone. It rotates down, not around. Okay. This comes up. This comes out. This opens up. The leg rotates around and out. This is going to rotate. Now we can open this up. Rotate this down, open that up. Kind of get it out of the way. A lot of this is just getting stuff out of the way. And then it's your basic bringing it in. This pin will go into that port if you can see it. Hopefully you can. It's all about maneuvering this hinge right here for the knee. And I'm not going to get it all the way right now. I'm just going to kind of get it into place, because we've got another one of these to do. Peg, peg, pull out, rotate around. While it's like this, we'll go ahead and bring it in. I don't know if y'all can see the differences in the hinges here, but see how that one's almost flush and this one is not? It needs to be like the other one. Like that. It needs to look like that. Eventually these are going to combine together. Not yet. Eventually. Alright. This rotates around. Now, these two pieces right here are going to join together and create, I don't know, something. Before we do that, open these up, pull these things here out, and they're a pain to put back in robot mode if you're not sure exactly which way to do them. Just be mindful. Remember, I told you it's going to be a pain. Tom said I'd have trouble with that. No, I said you might. You might have trouble with that. There's a pin here. It's going to go into a port right here, hopefully you all saw. And now it's just a matter of getting things lined up properly and having it go into place the way you think it should. See, that goes in there. He says it goes in there. That keeps it in place. Other side. This one goes in there. And that pushes down, keeps it in place. These come together just like this, and they will, you have to get them just right, but they will go. See? And it makes it quite secure when it does go. This comes in. This has a peg hole and a peg. Goes up like that, rotate it around, and pull out your monster leg until it makes good anatomical sense. Peg it in, rotate it around. Alright, now, pegs and ports, as you can see here on the bottom legs, just as you would imagine. There's not a surprise with this. Alright, come in, push it together, just like that. Now you can kind of see where we're going here. This, in my humble opinion, is perhaps the trickiest part of the whole thing, because it's this part right here that causes the problem. Now you have a pin right here. It's going to go into this port right here without any problem whatsoever. As long as you got everything lined up right. Without any problem whatsoever. See, that lines up right. This extends out, comes down, and there is a port and a pin. It can be relatively challenging to get it all lined up properly, but then again, sometimes it just works like magic. Like the camera's not on. Go figure. Alright. There we go. I'll go in like that. This just helps solidify everything so it's nice and tight. Now, you're saying, but Tom, the tail's not right. No, it's not. You see, there is a proper way of doing this. We flip out these little bits here. Alright, so we know this is going to be on top. We know this is going to be on the bottom. So we rotate some way or another. And what we have to do is get this pin right here has to go into this groove. Let me zoom in here. Alright, so we have a groove here and a pin, and a groove here and a pin. And we have to maneuver these two things so that they are, I think, basically opposite of the way they are right now. Yep, just like this right here. See? And you combine them together, and theoretically they will make that. And this represents our transformation. Alright. And he's an ugly looking little feller, if I may be so bold as to say. From tip of the snout to the tip of the tail, we're looking at approximately 9.5 inches. Width-wise, roughly 3.5. Height-wise, I mean, it's going to vary, but let's just call it 5.5 inches just to be safe. In this mode, this shark fin moves. Don't know why, other than just for transformation. We've got some pretty red paint right through here. We got some translucence right here, some translucence right here, translucence. This is all plastic. This is plastic. Beautiful silver paint with some red teeth right here. I think those are translucent eyes. They would have looked really sharp if they had had some paint on them. I don't suppose those are light piped, are they? If they are, I can't tell. I don't think they are. The mouth opens only that far, so it is a little unfortunate that it doesn't open more. The arms can do a full 360. They can't really go out without, disconnecting the transformation joint. You get no bicep rotation, at least none that I've been able to determine. You get a little bit on that ball joint, but not much. It goes all the way that way, and the fingers are individually articulated on a base pin knuckle. The thumb is stationary. So that's what you get for that. No ab crunch, but there shouldn't be in this mode. Everything's locked in. The legs can go out that far. You can come all the way up for the knee, down to right there. You get your rotation that far for a rocker. Goes up all the way and back that far. The tail can move, although when you do, it is going to disconnect pretty much everything. So just be mindful, it will rotate a little bit. It'll go up and down some. Again, not the greatest. And these pieces move, they don't rotate. Alright, so now I think we need to do, oh, and you got beautiful red paint through here, and rotate red right there, some translucent, some pretty colored blue. I think that's pretty much it. I think it's time to do scale comparison, and then we'll put him in arm mode. So, putting old, what's this guy's name, Leviathan, Ripper Snapper here, into combined mode isn't all that difficult, but we do have to undo a few things that we've already done. So, to start with, we're going to unpeg this. We're going to put the arm together like this, with this peg and that hole. It's going to come together like that. Bring your, it will, I promise, bring your claws down so that they go where they're supposed to, and just kind of leave this hanging up for right now. Do this on this side, and just leave this hanging up. Bring your claws in. Tell you what, I want to raise this up just a tinge so we can maybe see just a little bit better. Alright. Next, we're going to lift this up, and we're going to open our combiner port right here, and this is just going to close up just like this right here. Alrighty then, and it just kind of sits here, but not until you open these up. And it's going to come down and rest kind of like that. Take your feet here and just kind of get them out of the way, and we need to effectively undo most of what we got going on right here. So we unpeg this, kind of unhook it, and this will actually separate. You can work it out. We'll get it here in a second. Undo your tail here, and do it like this. Pull these apart like this. Now, as always when I'm doing this, I have to give you the caution that I've looked at the directions and I think I've got it. However, there's the possibility that I could be wrong on some issue or something. And if I am, I apologize, but I'll do it to the best of my capability. Excuse me. Now we got to put this tail back together and put it in here. But before we do that, we need to separate this, pull the leg all the way up so that the leg port is straight, and bring it back down and in like this. I think that's correct. I could be incorrect, but I don't think I am on this. This just gives it a little bit extra length, that ½ inch or so right there. Now, this is going to come in and back up. This is going to come in and back up. Okay, now at this time we ought to be able, let's put it all together. Let's put it all together. Okay, so we've got the leg here like this. I'm going to bring this in, and bring this one in. Combine them back together. The leg here, we'll get to in a second. Get everything out of the way. This is on a double hinge. I don't know if I mentioned this previously, but the directions show it going all the way flat. You can get it like that, but you just got to kind of wiggle it into position. Okay, kind of like this right here. Now, we want this thing to go in with this part up. So as it rotates around, we're going to bend this down like this. Okay? I always forget, and it's finicky. I always forget where this is supposed to go, but I believe it goes in, you gotta rotate it around like this. I believe that is the correct way to get this thing in here. This comes down, buttons in together, and if it's right, this will come, nope, I got it backwards. Of course it did. This comes around like this. Okay. Now, if it's right, this will come in, which you can see, and it will cover down. When everything is lined up properly, it'll come in. I promise you it will. I promise you it will. It's just the word I am searching for is finicky. Another word that is apt here is persnickety. And you've got these two grooves right there that'll fit over these two indentions, and you know you got it right when it goes in. I don't have it quite right. Of course not, the camera's on. It seems to be the universal, oh yeah, the camera's on, can't do it. You won't get it right, Tom. Okay, push that in. Realize you got it backwards. Rotate that around so that it looks like that. Push it all together. Just because push that in. See, it's not right. Something is off here. What is causing such a ruckus? Get in there. Alright. Then that comes down just like that, and it will secure into place just like that. Now the directions tell you at this time to bring in your hand. Yeah, they clap in like that. So squeeze, and it's just a simple slot right there. You bring this down, bring this one down, and that makes a nice secure hand right there. Now, these things right here come together, and those come together. Comes together, and those come together. Why are they not going down the way that they're supposed to? I don't know. See how that one came flat? Why is it this one going flat? It did fine just a few minutes ago. What the? Nothing is ever easy. It is interesting though. Let's see. Oh. Durr. Oh boy. just came loose because of that. Gotta be persnickety. Maybe alright. Oh, I will re-secure this piece here in a little bit. Okay, now for the fun part with these. We have to figure out exactly how they go, and that ain't it. This is where we can extend like this. Somehow or another, and I have actually done this, these come in. Heck on it, folks. I'm sorry. This shouldn't be taking this long. It doesn't normally seem to take this long. Things are just being aggravating, I guess. Alright, so you want them to look kind of like this when you get done with it. You've got your waist here, which this is going to come down, and I thought that all pegged it in together. I guess I was wrong. Okay. Now, as far as up top here, obviously you're going to have to move these whenever you connect it. But once you have it connected, you can plug this piece back in here. Hopefully it will work for you and not give you reasons to want to be unhappy. Hopefully. Come on, man. Go to your home. You know you want to. There we go. Okay. So that'll plug in like that. Then you just bring this back down. Plug these back in here where they belong. Which somehow or another has become problematic. Because, of course, it has. There we go. Alright, this comes in and plugs in. This comes in and plugs in. And here is the arm mode. Now, let's see here. Decent arm mode. Again, I'm hoping I have it correct. I may not. I may have butchered it. If I did, I'm sure somebody will tell me. But I'm not 100% sure I butchered it. I think it's pretty close. The directions aren't the absolute best when it comes to this. And honestly, I thought I figured out what to do with this, but apparently I didn't. So I don't really know what to do with it. Unless we can just pop it down here somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. It acts like it wants to go in right there, but well, anyway, here's the arm mode, and it looks pretty good. I think it'll make a fine arm, all things considered. Interesting thing here. The directions say that we're making leg mode. Starts out with arm mode, then it goes to leg mode. It doesn't have a leg mode that I can tell, but yeah. Alright. Yep, I guess that's it. Why don't we go ahead and go into final thoughts.
Do 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 do.
Do 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 do. Hey, Rippersnapper, how's it going? What? Nothing funny to say, Nemesis? I mean, it's Rippersnapper. What's there to say? He's a Decepticon's Decepticon. I'm just pleased to be in his presence. Hey, speaking of presents, yes, Nemesis, didn't you buy, like, a new RC I can't wait for you to review her. She really makes my eyebrows waggle. Waggle, waggle, waggle. Oh, crap. Ah! Oh, we're not even going to go there. Alright, so final thoughts-wise, I have to point out, I still have not figured out where in the hell this piece came off of. I can't see an issue with it, so I truly do not know where it went. There's a possibility this doesn't go to this figure, and it just kind of came with the factory. But for some reason, I don't think so, because the plastic kind of matches the same color. I don't know. If you know where this particular part goes, somebody let me know. Anyway, the playability of this figure, it's okay. It's got some nice ratchets in it. I do have to point out, this arm here was so tight. This arm joint right here, this one. I added a little bit of my liquid silicone that I have, that I bought many years ago. I added some of that and loosened the screw right there, and it's doing better. It's doing a lot better now. But it's got plenty of soft ratchets. It's got plenty of articulation. So yeah, the materials feel good. I don't feel like anything's going to break like it did on the Blot. Yeah, this thing feels pretty good. The cost, this was $90. And what I see when I see that, I've got 3 now, I think at $89.99 from TF Source. So when I see this, I think it was TF Source. I bought this one from TF Source. When I see that this was $90, it kind of makes me worry that the next one is going to be $190 or something. I mean, remember what TFC did to us with their trailer? I don't see anything like that from this company. It's not TFC, is it? It's TFC. Wasn't it TFC that did the trailer? You know the one I'm talking about? I don't know. Anyway, the cost of this is fine. For this figure, it's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. If this was my first Transformer, would I buy another one? Probably, yeah. This thing has pretty much everything I need in it. It does have the light piping for eyes, which doesn't work because of this, but it has beautiful paint on it. And I mean, it's a nice looking figure. So, would I recommend this? Out of the 3, I haven't found one yet that I don't think I would recommend. So yeah, I'd pretty much say go for this one too. Alright, this is Tom. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you... Wait. That is a piece that has come off. It still doesn't change my evaluation. It was a little small piece, like it came off a sprue or something. This is Tom. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next review.
Thank you for watching my Papa's channel. Please subscribe and like. Thank you.
Vitamin John. Operators are standing by.